I'm taking back the crown. I'm all dressed up and naked. I see what's mine and take it. Keepers, losers, reapers. Oh yeah, the crown. So close I can taste it. I see what's mine and take it. Keepers, losers, reapers. Oh yeah.
Hey, what's going on, anime fans, RWBY fans? Greetings, it's I, the Ninja Reviewer here. Welcome to another exciting review of RWBY Volume 5, Chapter 6 review. Or, yeah, is it 6? Yeah, Chapter 6, yeah. Okay, so this week's chapter of RWBY. So basically, it's again a very simple episode, but even though it's a simple episode, it's actually really, really cool. Oh man. Okay. What I really liked about this episode was, of course, well, the ending was definitely a feels word mommy, and it was actually really great to see these characters reunited once again. But first, let's talk about the beginning stuff. The first thing that's going on is that QROW is pretty much asking, information that he was trying to find all these different huntsmen, the ones that was listed pretty much on the iPad or the phone or the iPhone, whatever that he had, that he was looking for. But of course those people are long gone. Like, he went to all these different locations. There was a bar where, was that Lenny Pator that was voicing one of the bar characters? Because it actually did sound like Lenny Pator. By the way, if you don't know who Lenny Pator is, he's an amazing actor that he does so much stuff for, like Team 4-Star with Dragon Ball Z Abridged and many other projects. So yeah, I'm like, whoa, like, okay, I didn't expect Lenny Pator to actually be in this actual episode. I was like, alright, cool. So that was cool. So we got that part going around, and we see, and there's a reason why, is because there is something going on where he couldn't really find the rest of the people, and they didn't really know exactly what's going on. So apparently, then QROW finally pays whatever, I forget the person's name, like their dues or whatever, to actually find out some more information on what's going on. But of course, he really has no luck. And then meanwhile, we have the second half of the episode where we have Raven actually converting her own daughter, converting Yang and WEISS about the truth about Raven and QROW, and back in the heydays of when Ozpin and then when they were in the academy, pretty much Ozpin was keeping an eye out for Raven for these reasons. Like, they all thought, they were just admiring their skills, but in reality, what Ozpin was doing was observing them for something else. Like, I'm not sure if this specifically means that Ozpin did something that was like something like an element of curse between the two characters, between QROW and Raven, which I'm not really specifically so sure of. But she was actually explaining these kind of things about pretty much... okay, so when it comes down to the whole Raven and Yang part, I will say that part was actually very, very interesting, because that part we actually did get to see, that we get to know that magic actually exists. And even when you actually saw the opening to this volume, if you remember, there was a Raven, or at least I don't even think it was just volume 5, it might have been volume 4 as well, something like that too. I believe those two show like a Raven or a close-up shot of a Raven flying. And I just thought it was just that Raven, that was just there, just for like effect or like whatever, etc., part of the scenery. But no, apparently her name Raven isn't just, meaning of that. No, apparently she also can herself turn into a Raven. Why? It's because magic exists, and she explains that. And there was something that Ozpin was keeping an eye out for me and Raven about, like a curse, as you will. So there's probably some kind of curse that Ozpin pretty much put on the two of them that made them, pretty much like the way they are as of today. Which is why, because it wasn't just, because pretty much Ozpin, he was looking out, to see exactly what was the potential of Raven, because they could tell there was some hidden potential between the two, and something was going on. So that in particular we didn't really get all the answers to, but we do know that magic is a thing, that magic actually exists. And it was kind of funny too how like Yang, Raven's like, okay, like, you guys didn't even touch, like, you guys didn't even touch your tea yet. And then she's like, wow, you're really obnoxious. And then it's like, she goes like, I'm not trying to be nice or anything like that. And obviously, she kind of realized it too, that she wasn't really the nicest person in the world. So you could tell there's some really big conflict when it comes to Ozpin, when it comes to Raven. Like, something is there with this whole magic thing. And apparently she's saying, like, this whole army of, like, Raven, what he's trying to accomplish, I'm not Raven, with Crow, what he's trying to accomplish isn't really what he wants to. Again, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. This kind of fantasy army, as like she likes to call it, it's a pipe dream. It's not going to really happen. There's no way this can possibly be. Like, look, I have a lot more things to tell you. It's not just because there are other things that, because, like, look, you may believe in, like, your Grimm and, like, all that other stuff, like, whatever I forget the main purposes, but you get what I mean. Like, the main spirit, the weapons or whatever powers that they have, like the aura, but they didn't believe that there was such thing as magic that existed. And I'm like, yo, okay, so there's magic that actually exists. So okay, so that's actually pretty cool. I did not expect that at all. So when it comes to that, what I liked about it though is the conversation between the characters. That was actually really well done. I actually did like the fact that we did. It was actually really cool too how Raven created that portal that opened up the portal to actually travel, and we see that, look, because Yang's like, look, I mean, my goal of you hasn't really changed as much. Like, now that I met you, I'm not really getting anywhere with this. So look, all I care is about my sister's safety. I don't care about your actual, your past or whatever. It's like, I don't care. It's like, you keep saying that, oh, if I go after RWBY, something's gonna happen, or something is within RWBY that you don't want me to see or to trust, or some kind of so again, there's some very, very odd questions in the dark that we don't know, especially when it comes to Yang's sister. Again, we just don't really know, which is why she's trying to say, like, as a little warning, like, look, just don't go with Crow, just stay with me for a while, and I'll tell you exactly a lot of things that are going on. But in reality, it's like, look, we try to have this simple conversation. It's just not really working out. So instead, she creates a portal. It's like, look, this is your only way out, and only once, and that's it. I'm not giving you a second chance. It's either you go out there and do whatever you want to do with Crow, with this ridiculous little huntsman, huntresses army to stop, or what you can do is, stay here and listen to my tale and actually learn more about, about me, about my past and what's going on. And she's like, nah, bitch, nah. So honestly, especially the way she is, like, look, it's like, look, you're my mother. And the way she was also talking smack is like, oh, well, your father's completely weak. Like, he's not even, like, man enough to actually take on, like, this threat right now himself. So she's like, okay, so Yang got pretty much pissed off at that. So again, having a simple conversation with her own mother just really didn't work out. So she took the way out with Yang's bike, traveling with WEISS through the actual portal. Crow finally actually notices that they're there, and then finally we have the reunion between RWBY, WEISS, and Yang. And that scene right there was actually very touching, I will admit. That was a very touching scene. Finally seeing these three girls together was a very nice touch. And especially the way that, RWBY was so nervous about, oh, I didn't know if you want to ever see me again. I thought we were just going to go on separate ways, from what I've done and stuff like that. But Yang's like, you know what, look, I'm just glad you're good. I just want to see you from the very beginning. That's why I trained to become stronger and whatnot. So you can see her, she's like hugging her to death and everything. Very emotional, both crying, obviously. And then, of course, we have WEISS, doing the exact same thing. But not really, because with WEISS, she was just there in the corner, and then they were like, yo, come on, join us. Like, come on, join the group huddle. Join the group huggable huddle. But of course, it took her a while, but then she's like, whatever, screw it. So she did it too. But of course, the only member we are missing is Blake, but I don't think we're going to have Blake again for at least a little while longer. Unless we do at the very end of the season, which, depending how many chapters we're going to have this coming volume, either it's going to be like 12 or 13 chapters like usual, or maybe they'll extend it for more chapters so then we can finish off to what is going to be happening. So overall, yeah, so that's pretty much it when it comes to this episode. So even though, again, we didn't really get any action oriented stuff, what I really did like though is, finally a daughter to mother conversation, even though it didn't really go like for a long time. But it was actually really cool to see a scene like that. Also, that portal was mad awesome, of course, seeing that. That was actually really cool. And yeah, you know, stuff across the beginning, you know, was interesting too. So as a solid episode, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. So this one was a 4 out of 5 episode. A very good episode overall. I actually really enjoyed it. Definitely can't wait to see what the other episodes are going to maintain to. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below of this week's chapter of RWBY. I'll see you guys next week for Volume 5, Chapter 7 review. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Click that bell to join the squad to get those video notifications. Follow my social media plugins and my gamer tags as well. So peace, soul, love, chicken grease, and the sky is the limit. Anime manga fans, keep supporting Rich Video What You Watch. And that's it.